Brothers and sisters, this is your brother Essa Bokarr say again on today's analysis, where we are diagnosing West Africa, to be more precise, where we have dictatorial regimes claiming to be heading, in quotes, the most peaceful countries in the continent, which is of course interesting and paradoxical at the same time. Regardless of the challenges embedded in these countries, we would still try to use the power of the positive mind to derive what could be exposed for people to look at and then see how best to safeguard those areas that are relatively peaceful today not to be affected by sleeper cells of terrorists and marauding mercenaries in West Africa. Now, it is obvious that any sensible mind in North and West Africa today should remain vigilant and deeply concerned, or would remain vigilant and deeply concerned with reference to what we have already analyzed in the first segment, the second, and the third, this one being the fourth. Now, our most immediate goal as a people who live within and outside West Africa, but very much concerned, should stem from determination, as determination can win any war. You see, brothers and sisters, whether we are ready to absorb it or not, the hard fact is that West Africa in particular is at war with terrorism, cross-border crimes, or other shortcomings, which usually find a fertile ground in bad governance. And we all know that that is part of our stigmas. Another priority should be the readiness to help drive away security risks by using risk analysis before anything else. Let me repeat this part. Whether we are ready to absorb it, accept it, or live with it or not, the hard fact is that West Africa is at war with terrorism, cross-border crimes, or other shortcomings, which usually find a fertile ground in bad governance. And we all know that bad governance is part of the list of our stigmas. In fact, the number one on the list of stigmas. Another priority should be the readiness to drive away security risks by using risks analysis before anything else. Remember, or be told, or understand that risk analysis does not always mean chaos or turmoil has begun. No. In a case like Cameroon's and many other countries within, it means analyzing the risks at hand before they become uncontrollable. Let me repeat this part. Remember, risk analysis does not always mean chaos has begun, turmoil has begun, turbulence has begun, war has begun. No. In a case like Cameroon's and other parts or other countries within the sub-region or the continent, it means analyzing the risks at hand before they become uncontrollable. Wise minds do not entertain crisis management where they could have done risk analysis to avoid the crisis itself. Beginning with putting in place an exit strategy for sitting African presidents who have so far ruled their countries for more than 3 decades, which is in fact a shame. In this case, we will now bring forward the case of President Paul Biya of Cameroon. He is part of the equation. Therefore, his X factor must be solved now, not later. Most of these dictators, though, also need assurance through exit routes or strategies. That is why some of us are asking the question, was the exit strategy in Harare, Zimbabwe wrong, or was it right? Well, where one balances between the risks and the benefits, and you find out that the risks that were presented before the population in Zimbabwe were more than the benefits, and it could have torn the country upside down, I would rather go with what we have now, but for a short term. Because also you cannot have hardcore enablers to remain there as the messiahs. But at the same time, it could also be a way of shifting the gears, but shifting the gears at low speed, not at high speed. That ends the last part of our analysis today. And these are analyses we'll be doing, of course, not only for Gambia, but these are analyses requested by individuals who visit this Facebook page and other outlets where I am, and some of them I work with. Therefore, there are certain analyses which can be publicly exposed and then used as resources for any party that is interested in them. Now, to leave my footprint as recommended by people that I work with, people who visit this place, and also professionally and ethically, my name is Essa Bokarr C. Originally, I am from the Gambia, West Africa. My areas of operation that I cover, beginning with my present position as a technical and language instructor for special missions. To that effect, we do use security, diplomacy, and language skills during assignments or missions. Of course, my work is related to what I do in the United States and sometimes certain areas in West Africa and Europe, especially North and West Africa. My current location as we speak is the United States of America. These analyses can be accessed by any party that is interested in it. They are not specific to any country, but they could also be useful for people whose areas of competence cover missions or operations related to the contents of this analysis. Thank you very much. Thank you. Until we meet again.